Hello, in this lecture we'll talk about the story of the great poem, The Night in the Panther Skin. Actually, in a nutshell, we can say that the story is about the adventures of two knights, of Tandil and Tariel. Tariel is the hero of the poem, with the nickname The Knight in the Panther Skin, and of Tandil is the commander of the Arab armies. And the story in more detail can be divided into two parts. The first part is the search for Tariel with the nickname The Knight in the Panther Skin, and the second part is the search for Tariel's beloved, the Standard. So in the first part, the search for Tariel, one day after the commander of the Arab armies challenges King Rustavan, who is the king of Arabia, to a hunting competition. After 3 days of shooting game, they take a break and the rest under a tree. And finally, they saw a mysterious knight dressed with a panther skin crying by the river. So King Rustavan was very curious about the mysterious knight. He wanted to acknowledge him, therefore he sends slaves to contact him, but the mysterious knight reacts violently and kills all the slaves that sent to encounter him, then disappears. King Rustavan sends parties all over the world in order to find the mysterious knight, but becomes disheartened when he fails. Then Tinatin, the only daughter of King Rustavan, asks from Tariel to find the mysterious knight, promising him to marry him in return. So Abdandil searches the mysterious knight for 2 years and 9 months. And finally he finds him, and the mysterious knight tells Abdandil that his name is Tariel and that he was the commander of the fleet of India, and that he was also in love with Parsedan's daughter, the Standard, but she was abducted by the Demon King, the Kaji, the Demon King. And from that moment he became very depressed and he was always crying, and he secluded himself to a cave with only a maiden by his side. So when Abdandil hears the story, he is very excited and he promises Tariel friendship and brotherhood, and he also promises him to find his beloved Standard. That is the first part of the story. That is the search for Tariel. The second part of the story is the search for Tariel's beloved, the Standard. So actually, Abdandil, Tariel, and Pridon, that is the ruler of Mughazanzar, together with 300 soldiers, go to the country of the Kaji in order to rescue Lestan from her captivity. But the problem is that the Kajis are very strong fighters, and Lestan Darajan was imprisoned on the top of a high-rise building, and 24 hours a day guards secured the prison in order to prevent her to escape and in order to prevent others to rescue her. So it was actually an impossible mission to rescue Lestan Darajan from her captivity. But the 300 soldiers with Abdandil, Tariel, and Pridon did the unthinkable and succeeded to infiltrate to the fortress and to rescue Nestan from her captivity. And the story ends in an happy ending in the sense that Avtandil marries his beloved Tinatin and Tariel marries his beloved Nestan Darajan. Okay, now I will tell you the story in more detail. As I already mentioned before, the story can be divided into two parts. The first part is Avtandil's quest for Tariel, the titular the knight in the panther skin, and the second part is Avtandil's quest for Nestan Darajan, Tariel's love. So in the first part, the search for Tariel, the king of Arabia, Rustevan, has no sons and confers the kingship on his only daughter, the beautiful and wise Tinatin. She has a tender affection for Avtandil, that is to say, she is in love with Avtandil. Avtandil, the knight and commander-in-chief of Rustevan's armies. One day, Avtandil challenges King Rustevan to a hunting competition. After 3 days of shooting game, they encounter a knight crying by river. He is dressed in a panther skin and kills the slaves sent by the king to contact him, then disappears. Rustevan sends parties across the world to search for the mysterious knight, but becomes disheartened when he fails. Tinatin asks Avtandil to find the strange knight in 3 years, promising him her hand in marriage in return. After 2 years and 9 months of searching, Avtandil finds the knight in the panther skin, hiding in a cave, with only a maiden for company. His name is Tariel. He is the son of King Saridan, who has the 7 kingdom of India. He had served as heir to King Parsedan, king of the other 6 kingdoms of India, for many years, before falling in love with Parsedan's daughter, Nestan Darajan. Tariel wages war with the Katavians to earn the favor of Nestan, but is dismayed to learn that she has already been promised to the Khwarezmian prince Khwarezm. Tariel couldn't bear the idea of her marriage, and at Nestan's request, he killed the suitor. The princess was placed on a boat and set adrift on the seas. Despite Tariel's lengthy search for his love, he couldn't find her. Later he met Nuadin Tridon, ruler of Mugazanzar, who told him that Nestan was alive but trapped on a distant boat. Tariel retired to a cave to live in the wilderness with Asmat, the former servant and messenger of Nestan. Moved by this story, Avtandil promises his friendship and brotherhood to Tariel and agrees to help him find his love, Nestan Darajan. Avtandil returns home to Arabia and tells Tinatin the story of Tariel. Against King Rustevan's wishes, he returns to his new friend Tariel. That is the first part of the story, the search for Tariel. The second part of the story is the search for Tariel's beloved Nestan Darajan. In the second part of the story, Avtandil then leaves Tariel to go to the kingdom of Ridon, where he doesn't hear anything new about Nestan. Continuing his quest, he arrives in the city of Bulansharo. He meets Patman, the wife of the chief Hussein, who falls in love with him. Avtandil, sensing she knows the fate of Nestan, succumbs to Patman's seduction. She tells him she has been keeping Nestan at her place, and as Nestan was promised to the king's son, she helps her escape, but in her flight, Nestan was abducted by Kaji, the demon king. Avtandil then returns home to Pridon into the cave of Tariel, and later all three friends, that is to say Optandil, Tariel and Pridon, decide to go to the country of Kaji with an army of 300 men to find and deliver Nestan. When she is released, all return to Arabia, where King Rustavan forgives Optandil his flight and breaking the king's order. They all celebrate the marriage of the latter, that is to say Optandil, with the king's only daughter Tinatin. They then leave for India, where Tariel marries his love Nestan. Pridon also returns to his homeland, that is to say Mugazanza, and the three friends reign happily with prosperity and generosity in their own respective realms. Okay? Thank you very much.